My wife faked her death, so I slapped her and called the organ donation unit. In my past life, I drank that water and blacked out for 3 days. By the time I woke up, she'd already been cremated. I barely had a second to breathe before the debt collectors showed up. That's when I found out she'd racked up millions in debt before she died. They took both my kidneys and forced me to work around the clock. 10 years later, I looked like I was 80. Then she rolls by in a luxury car with her lover and tosses me $100 as a thank you. I couldn't take it anymore. I dropped dead on the spot. Next thing I know, I'm back to the day she had her heart attack. I looked at her lying there under that white sheet and thought, fine, I'll play along. Her bestie kept pushing me to drink the water, and I remembered that's exactly what knocked me out last time. That water was definitely spiked. I set the cup down and walked straight to her bedside. Her cheeks were rosy, her breathing was steady. Past me was just too stupid to notice. I raised my hand and slapped her hard, and she didn't even flinch. Clearly, she'd shot herself up with something beforehand so she wouldn't react. Bro, I get you're upset, but you can't just hit her like that. I kept going, working her over while I broke down crying. I told you to sleep earlier. I told you to get a checkup. Why didn't you listen? How am I supposed to go on without you? Wang Manyun just stood there, completely frozen. I didn't even bother with her. I just pulled out my phone and called the organ donation center. She snuck off to text someone, but the donation team showed up in minutes anyway. I put on my best grieving husband face and said I wanted to donate her organs to save lives. Sir, that's very noble of you. Which organs would you like to donate? I said she died of a sudden heart attack and I had no idea what was still viable. Just take whatever you can use. If nothing works, donate the whole body to a med school. No way! Ruya never wanted to donate her organs. We have to respect her wishes. I'm her husband. This is my call to make, not yours. Every minute you stall is another minute those organs degrade and someone doesn't get saved. The staff backed me up and told her to step aside. She panicked and said she'd already called Ruyan's mom. At least let her say goodbye. Ruyan's mom came rushing in, still had her hair rollers in from the salon. She saw her daughter looking perfectly fine, let out a sigh of relief, then slapped me across the face. She screamed that I'd cursed her daughter to death and now wanted to cut her open. She said anyone who touched her daughter would regret it, and the donation was off. The donation team left with nothing, and Wang Manyun covered the body back up. Ruyan's mom sat down on the couch and kept going off on me. You pathetic excuse for a man? Your wife just died, and you're already trying to donate her body? You want to be a hero? Go donate yourself. I'll have every part of you sent in. I covered my face and sighed, started to apologize and explain. She cut me off and told me to get out. She'd handle the cremation herself. I shut up immediately and quietly handed her the cup of water Wang Manyun had brought me. She didn't suspect a thing. Her mouth was dry from all the yelling, so she drank it straight down. Wang Manyun tried to stop her, but it was too late. Ruyan's mom was already out cold. Bro, you're not seriously thinking about donating her organs again, are you? I shook my head and said of course not. Mom already said no. She relaxed a little and suggested I take Mom to the ER while she handled the cremation. I smirked and said she had it backwards. She's the doctor. She takes care of Mom. I'm the husband. I handle the cremation. Then I called the crematorium right then and there. She was freaking out, shaking Ruyan's mom like crazy, but that woman was completely out. Bro, I swear I just saw Ruyan move. I think she can still be saved. I shoved the death certificate in her face and said, you really want to go down that road? Think about what that means for you in the hospital. That's called negligent homicide. You'd be looking at prison time. So think real hard. Did you actually see her move? She had nothing to say. I laughed it off and walked away. I followed the vehicle out, and she scrambled to get on her phone. I glanced at Ruyan on the stretcher and caught her finger twitch. She must have realized what was coming, and the sedative was wearing off. I told the driver to step on it. My mother-in-law was trying to snatch the body and donate it. He nodded and floored it. Back in my past life, when I ran into her 10 years later, she barely looked like she'd aged a day. I threw myself in front of her car just to see if it was really her. She squinted, barely recognized me, then laughed. 10 years and you already look older than my grandpa? I croaked out a question and she casually admitted she faked her death just to get rid of me. Then it all clicked. A real divorce meant splitting the assets and getting labeled a cheater. But faking her death? She could dump all the debt on me, move the money, and run off with her guy clean slate. I was too furious to speak. She just kept talking, smiling, telling me she could hear me sobbing in that hospital room. She turned my crying into a punchline and laughed her head off. I clutched my chest and went down. Her guy just said I was faking it for money. They called it bad luck and drove off and everything went dark. Now looking at her face, I laid it all out. Everything I never got to say. I know you're not dead. You cheated and staged all this just so you could run off with him. You want it out so badly? Fine, I'll send you off myself. I know you can hear every word. I just don't know if you can feel anything. Getting cremated alive, you might just be the first. Her fingers were trembling. She couldn't move, but the tears started falling. I wiped them away and said, save it. Plenty of time to cry once you're in the furnace. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Wang Manyun and Ruyan's mom blowing it up. I ignored every call. The driver hauled it the whole way. 30-minute trip done in 20. But there was a crowd today, and Ruyan's turn was still at least an hour away.